Hi, my name is Emma, and today we're going to be talking about building an effective resume and cover letter. This information is provided by the Pennsylvania Career Link of Bradford and Sullivan counties. Today, we're going to be talking about three different types of resumes: chronological resumes, functional resumes, and combination resumes. A chronological resume is basically a record of your work experiences, including job descriptions. This type of resume stresses the time you went to school and the times you worked at certain jobs. In a chronological resume, your schooling, trainings, and work experiences are presented in chronological order. Think of this type of resume as a timeline. When making your resume, try and remember three important things. 1. You want to be honest by not overselling your qualifications and skills. 2. You want to be positive by focusing on your successes and positive results. And 3. You also want to be brief, meaning that all of the information you put on your resume should be relevant. Try to keep your resumes short and sweet. A resume tells an employer what you have accomplished in the past and what you can do for the company now. This is a sample chronological resume. At the top, you want to begin with your name, your address, your phone number, and your email. Then you want to list the objective, which is what you are looking for in a job. Because this is a chronological resume, they then listed their summary of qualifications and then their professional experiences. Their professional experience part reads like a timeline. At the very bottom of this resume, they listed their education. Another type of resume is a functional resume. The functional resume may be useful if you have limited work experiences. It is effective if you have been involved in volunteer work or co-curricular activities, and this type of resume gives you an opportunity to bring out skills you have that are useful in a variety of different work situations. Functional resumes are used by professionals whose accumulated skills are more important than the chronological order of events in their work history. This format is useful for the homemaker returning to work after an absence of years, as well as for others with gaps in their employment history. This resume stresses your skills and is organized by your skills, duties, or functions, rather than your work experiences. This is a sample functional resume. Similar to the chronological resume, you want to begin by putting your name, your address, your phone number, and email at the top. Then you want to list the objective, which is, again, what you are looking for in the job that you're seeking. Next, on a functional resume, you're going to want to list your qualifications and your skills. Underneath that, your education, and then your employment history. The third type of resume we're going to talk about today is called a combination resume. A combination resume is a cross between the functional and chronological resumes. This format allows an applicant to emphasize their preferred and most relevant skills and at the same time satisfies the employer's desire for names and dates. For this type of resume, you want to describe your responsibilities in detail. Similar to the first two types of resumes, you're going to begin by listing your name, address, phone number, and email address, followed by the objective of the job that you're searching for. For a combination resume, you may wish to then list your highlights of qualifications, followed by your work history, and then your education. Now we are going to talk about writing cover letters. You should keep your cover letter to one page. It should be typed on paper that is the same weight and color as your resume. On your cover letter, you should include your name, address, and phone number so that it is easy to contact you. Make sure to use proper grammar, correct spelling, and to check for typos. Also, be certain to address three main topics. 1. How or why you are interested in this specific job. 2. Why the company should be interested in you. And 3. Your desire to meet for an interview. You should address your letter to a specific person, not "Dear Hiring Manager" or "To whom it may concern," and never write "Dear Sir." If you are responding to a blind ad, meaning you do not know who specifically posted the job listing, you may address it to "Dear Selection Committee" or position title in place of "Dear Sir." Also, make sure to communicate at the level of the recipient. If the person to whom you are writing isn't a technical person, don't use technical jargon. If the recipient of your letter is the head of the department that you want to work in, however, you should use some technical buzzwords to show that you're an insider who knows the language of the job. Why is a good cover letter important? A good cover letter, also sometimes referred to as a letter of application, is important because employers usually expect a cover letter to accompany a resume. A cover letter highlights your key qualifications that your resume alone may not sufficiently emphasize. A well-written cover letter shows the employer that you can communicate in writing, which is an important skill for all employees in all types of jobs. And finally, a cover letter and a resume combination improves your chances of being interviewed because it is a more comprehensive picture of your skills and abilities. There are 3 parts of an effective cover letter. Part 1, the introduction. In this part, you should indicate your interest for the advertised job. You should mention the specific job title and the source of your lead, such as a newspaper or a networking contact. In Part 2, you should sell yourself. Using information on the job and your skills, write a paragraph that demonstrates that you are a perfect match for this position. And Part 3, you should request action. Your goal, of course, in submitting a resume and cover letter is to get an interview. So you need to tell the employer in this cover letter that you would like to have the opportunity to meet with them to have an interview. Here is a sample cover letter. Similar to the resume, right at the top, you should put your name, address, phone number, and email. Notice how in part 1 of this letter, the person writing it states where they saw the job posting. In part 2, they list their most relevant skills. And in part 3, they are asking to meet with the employer for an interview. Here is a resume worksheet for you to print out or download and complete. By filling out this worksheet before starting to make your own resume, you will be able to organize your thoughts and ideas. There is a link to download this worksheet under the Resources tab underneath this video. This resume worksheet will help you to organize your thoughts and background information. This is the resume worksheet, page 1. At the top, for the header, write your full name, full address, telephone number, and email address. Next, list the objective, which is a short description of the job you want. Next, list your qualifications, which should explain how past jobs you've had will help prepare you for this line of work. Next, list your accomplishments that show you can handle this job that you're applying for. This is the second page of the resume worksheet. First, you should list your work experiences. Here you should give the years, your job title, and your employer's name, city and state, and the location of where you worked. Next, list your education. This can include high school, any trainings or certificates that you have, as well as colleges. Next, you should list your skills and abilities. These skills and abilities that you list should all be relevant to the job that you are applying for. Thank you for listening. If you are interested in additional help, please go to the PA CareerLink site, which is www.pacareerlink.gov. Then register as a job seeker and sign up for the resume workshop at the Bradford Sullivan site located in Towanda, Pennsylvania. You can also call your local CareerLink to receive more information about workshops that are offered near you.